Hi everyone, Lisa here again. Just wanted to say hi, and this is still in my apartment that I'm still emptying at the moment. It's a bit chaotic, so I'm just trying to clear it. It's a bit messy here at the moment while I'm just clearing everything up, but this is one of the views out of one of the windows in my apartment. So the artwork up here, there's 7 rings, and it's called Richard of York Gave Battle in Vain, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So the rings here, they change colour all the time. It's quite pretty actually. And then that's the community centre there next door, and the bus stop just down there, just below my window. So yeah, this is one of the lovely things that I like about this apartment, is this view, apart from it being obviously a miracle apartment for me, and just the way that God opened the door for me to move here was quite miraculous. I always call it my miracle apartment because that's what it is. And less than a year after I moved in and I was looking at renewing the contract, I prayed about it. I mean, I thought I was going to stay, but I prayed about it, and I really felt God lead me to a verse in Revelation 3, verse 6 and 7, where it says about how God opens doors that no man can shut, and God shuts doors no man can open. And then in verse 7 it says about how God has, in that particular verse, I've opened a door that no man can shut. And I didn't understand it at the time. I didn't understand what God was trying to say to me. But I just knew that God was saying, yeah, go ahead and renew the contract. So I said, yes, I'm going to go ahead and renew it. That was 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. And shortly after that, I mean, literally within about 2 days of saying, yes, I'm going to renew the contract, I had a letter from the people who run the development here saying that they were changing the rent models for everybody. So when I first moved in here, the rent model was based on a certain amount of your net salary, but they were standardising the rent model for that following year. But those of us who were on the old rent model were allowed to stay for up to 3 years on the old rent model. And I instantly then knew why God had given me that verse, that he opens doors that no man can shut, and he shuts doors that no man can open. And that was also that verse, and that particular open door was an inspiration for a community group that I started here called Open Door. I really needed a name for this particular social group, and the council were going to meet me to talk about getting a grant to help run it in the community centre here actually. And I needed a name for it, and I really felt God say, call it Open Door, because it expresses that it's open for everybody. So that was really something that I felt that God said strongly to me a couple of years ago. And then more recently, I felt that in the way that things were happening with the apartment here, and it really felt like the door was shutting, and I felt God remind me of that scripture again, because it says both ways. It says that he opens doors that no man can shut, but he also closes doors, he shuts doors. So I really felt that this was a period of time where it's not really that I wanted to leave this apartment. I wanted to leave the city. That it's not really that I wanted to move out of the city this early. I don't have an issue with that, don't get me wrong, but it's not the choice that I would have chosen. But I'm really trusting God in that. But I really felt that God was saying the flip side of opening doors is also that I close doors. So I really felt I needed to share that today, because sometimes God does open doors miraculously, but he also closes doors because he knows what is in the future for you and what is in the future for me. I don't know what that plan is for God moving me back into Cambridge, because in a lot of ways it just seems almost impossible for that to happen. But God moved me here in the first place, so I really feel that, God can open another door, but this door has shut for this season. So I just wanted to encourage you that, God opens doors, but he also closes doors. We don't always understand why, but he has a real purpose and a reason for that. And I really believe that God will open another door for me in the future, in the next few months. And I just thank God for that. That maybe he wants to move me on to somewhere else. It's obvious that he wants to do that. So I just want to encourage you. Sometimes we experience open doors, and God does things miraculously to open doors. Sometimes God closes doors. So don't worry if that's what's happening for certain things in your life today. Just trust God, because God is in control and he knows the end from the beginning, and he has everything in his plan for you. So just thought I'd share that little testimony with you today. And enjoy the Richard of York Gate Battle in Vain. These rings, they are quite lovely. So see you later. Bye.